Alright, so our last problem of the chapter, it's here. And so first thing we need to do is find the lowest common denominator. So we're looking at the denominators. We have x squared minus 9 and we have x plus 3. So we want to factor this one so that we can find the LCD. Right? So we can factor that because it's the difference of squares. Right? A squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b. And so our a is equal to x and our b is equal to 3. All right. A is what makes x squared a perfect square, x times x. And then b is what makes 9 a perfect square, is 3 times 3. So now we can drop it into this little template and factor this expression out. So we'll have x plus 3 times x minus 3 as one of the denominators, and the second denominator is x plus 3. So looking at these two denominators, we can clearly see that the LCD is x plus 3 times x minus 3. Right? Why? Because this denominator is found in the LCD as a factor. It's the entire LCD. And this denominator is also here as a factor of the LCD. Right? So it's both here. So we have our LCD. Great. So what are we going to do with it? We're going to multiply both sides of the equal sign by that LCD. So let's do that here. It's going to be x plus 3 times x minus 3 times x plus 7 over x squared minus 9 minus x over x plus 3 is equal to 1. Right. And so now I'm going to go ahead and multiply out. We get x plus 3 times x minus 3 times x plus 7 over, and I'm going to write this denominator in its factored form. And then we're distributing out here to the second term. So we have minus x times x plus 3 times x minus 3 over x plus 3 equals, and now we're distributing out to this final one times 1 is going to be x plus 3 times x minus 3. Alright, so now we're looking for common factors. We got an x plus 3, an x plus 3, x minus 3, x minus 3. Over here we have an x plus 3, so we'll cancel those out. And I think we're done. So let's go ahead and rewrite it as x plus 7 minus x times x minus 3 is equal to x plus 3 times x minus 3. So now we're going to have to simplify by distributing out and foiling on the right side. So let's do that now. We have x plus 7 minus x plus 3x. Right? Be careful there. It's negative x times positive x is negative x squared. Ooh, I made a mistake there, right? And then we have negative x times negative 3 is positive 3x. Okay. Now on the right side of the equal sign, we're going to FOIL out. So we get x squared. And we got negative 3x plus positive 3x is 0. And then we have negative 3 times positive 3 is negative 9. Alright, so now we're going to move everything to the left side of the equal sign, set the quadratic expression equal to 0. So I'm going to minus x squared, and I'm going to add 9 to both sides. Right. So what do we get? And also, let's go ahead and rearrange this left side in standard form. So it's going to be negative 2x squared. Next would be this x and the 3x, so I'm going to say plus 4x. And then lastly, it's the 7 plus 9 is going to be 16. Plus 16 is equal to 0. And so now to simplify things, we can go ahead and factor out, right? We could factor out a negative 2. I want to factor out a negative 2 so I can make this first term positive 1. So I'm going to factor out the negative 2. That leaves me with positive x squared minus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Right. This negative 2, we can ignore it. It doesn't matter. And we're going to factor out this, what's in the parentheses. So how do we factor that out? Well, let me go to the left side and draw x. And I got a times c is 1 times negative 8. Negative 8 and my negative 2 at the bottom. So two factors are going to be 4 and 2. And here we're going to have a negative 4. Multiply to negative 8. Add to negative 2. So let's go ahead and rewrite this as its factors. So even though the negative 2 doesn't matter, I'm still going to put it there. And I'll say x minus 4 times x plus 2 is equal to 0. And now I'm going to set my factors, my two factors here equal to 0 and solve for x. So we got x minus 4 is equal to 0. We add 4 to both sides, and we get x is equal to 4. First answer. Second answer is x plus 2 is equal to 0. We minus 2 from both sides, and we get x is equal to negative 2. Right? So we found our two answers. X is equal to negative 2, and x is equal to positive 4. We're over here. X is equal to negative 2 and positive 4, and we're done.